In today's video, we are going to be running Ethernet cable through our entire house from our basement all the way up to our attic in order to plug in our Helium miner in hopes that we will get better connectivity and stability mining helium. What is going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, over the last few months, we've had the pleasure of starting to helium mine, and it's been a ton of fun. But I will be honest with you, over the last, I'd say 6 weeks to 2 months, helium mining has been a nightmare. Now, I've been keeping up with a lot of the different updates that they've been coming out with to the network, and there's a lot of really exciting things coming to the Helium network, especially as a miner for profitability. But one of the biggest challenges I'm running into, and I'm curious, are you running into as well? Leave a comment down below. Is your Helium miner terribly stable? Do you have so many challenges with stability, with up-down, with daily profitability? I personally am having a lot of issues over the last 2 months with the problem of my miner being up. It's powered on, it's pingable, but I'm constantly getting messages within the Helium app that my miner hasn't done anything for a while, or that my miner's offline. And if I leave it, it just returns back and says it's good to go. The challenge is that's really cutting into my profitability. I will go days, weeks without making anything on the Helium network, and then all of a sudden it's back to working the way that I would expect. So I'm really struggling with helium mining right now. As you guys have seen in previous videos, when I first started helium mining in the first 2 weeks or 30 days, man, we were rocking at almost $15.50. Now I'm lucky for a few cents per day because it's up and down all the time. So let's go ahead and talk about our game plan to hopefully bring stability to our helium miner. So a few things that I have tried with my helium miner more recently. I have replaced the micro SD card 2 times already. Originally, it had the 32 gigabyte SD card in there, and based off some direction from Helium that they made a post a while back, and I did do a video on this. I'll put a link in the upper right-hand corner if you're interested in checking it out. They recommended replacing the SD card from a 32 gigabyte that comes with it up to a 64. Well, I went ahead and did 128. Tried it out, still had issues. I downgraded to a 64. Still had issues. Now, some may argue, oh, it needs to be like the high endurance, blah, blah, blah. I tried that one with the 64, still having problems. So I've been running some tests, and I have good pingable metrics when it comes down to my wireless. I have good wireless strength for where it's at, great internet speeds, and I actually have on the back behind me here a rolling ping that I have had going for hours, and I have no dropped packets pinging the direct IP address, which is a static IP address, to my Helium miner. So it's like, oh man, what do we do? Our transmit is great, 1.0, we have 10 witnesses, we have good elevation. So my next thought, and kind of my last hurrah, is to go ahead and wire this. So in today's video, I am going to be wiring an Ethernet cable from my basement up through a coat closet, up into my daughter's bedroom, around the trim of the bedroom, up through her closet, and into my attic. So let's fast forward, hopefully only about an hour, and I'll show you guys exactly what we did. Okay guys, so of course it takes longer than an hour. It never takes the amount of time you think, but we have our wire in place. So let me go ahead and show you guys. A little loud in here, so we're on the back side of our rigs. All right, so right up here, I ran the cable all the way through into the back side of my patch panel. It's ugly, my OCD is driving me nuts. I didn't have any more of the 1 foot blue patch cables, so I grabbed an orange one just to make sure it stood out, but it is on port 47, and we do have it plugged in right here. So what we do is we run from the back of the patch panel up and through the wall, and it goes into our drop ceiling. So let's go ahead and hop down. So then that actually runs over to here, and then above the ceiling, it runs all the way over, and then up here, it comes right to here, okay? And we have a keystone, and then from there, let's go ahead and run upstairs. Okay, so we have a coat closet here, little tour, and in the very back of our coat closet, I popped up from the floor and ran it up, and you can see that we have it right here, and then goes up there. So now we're gonna go ahead and go to the second floor into my daughter's room. Okay, we're up in my daughter's room. Gotta love the Paw Patrol. Anyone else have kids, Paw Patrol fans? So up here, we come through the floor. That's actually just a fish cable. Left it in place just in case I need it. And I ran it along here. And since it's under her bed, I wasn't gonna worry about it. Another keystone, just in case I need to do anything with it, with a short patch cable. I know a lot of you network gurus out there going, oh, I should have ran straight through. I decided not to. I decided to break it up as I need to. That'll make troubleshooting harder, I understand. So then we have another keystone there, and it runs over to the trim. And then over here, Barbie Dream House, it comes all the way around the room into the closet, and most of it I tucked underneath the trim up till the spots that are exposed I tucked under the trim. The spots that are hidden I left out, and it goes there and then goes up and into the ceiling here. And let's jump up to our attic. Okay, so up into the attic we go, one-handed. Hopefully we don't fall. You guys have seen some of this before. Our GPU boxes are stored up here. There's like no good spot to put those. All right, so we're up here, and it actually, let me go backwards. We actually come up on this side of the house. I know, all this stuff, I know, right? So much kid stuff. So you probably can't see it, but all the way in that corner, it pops up from my daughter's closet, runs on top of the insulation, and then we come over here, ran over, comes over here. I'm just laying it here for now. And then I have it plugged into this computer here. So I've been running it for a little while, rolling ping, and not too bad. Okay guys, so I'm cutting in real quick with an update. I did figure out this issue. I actually had one of my RJ45 ends that actually, I don't know if it was bad or if I terminated it not correctly, but it was actually my problem. I went ahead and re-terminated it, and then bam, everything started working as beautifully as what I expected. What I did do, because of my concerns with the run, is I'll throw a picture up here. I did put a switch in my daughter's room directly between the two connections so that we could kind of boost that strength a little bit on that line to help out a little bit, because I was concerned about distance. I don't think we were near that 300 mark, but I thought, hey, let's go ahead and just to be safe, let's put a switch in between there. All right, let's jump back to my struggles. Not the best, but not too bad. I need to look into it more while I'm having some loss. I may try to see if I can do any type of, maybe I'll start it over because I did disconnect the internet. That's right, disconnect the internet and redo it. So I'll try it again. I don't have a tester in order to fully test it, but this will at least do the trick. We're getting good ping times, millisecond times, 22 and below, give or take. Now the one thing I want to look at is my speed test. So I did a speed test here. I guess Google has one. I wanted to find one that doesn't show my IP address, and this is saying we're getting like 9 down and a little bit more up. Kind of surprised by that. I pay for 100 down and 10 up, so I do need to go ahead and double check that downstairs on my computer, see where we're at to make sure. The run's pretty long, but it's not that bad. I mean, I'd say it's under 300 feet. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's stretching it, so that's why my bandwidth is, you know, the speed test isn't the, it doesn't need to be insane. Good pings, we got a little timeout there, but nothing too crazy. Should be pretty good. So what I'm gonna do now is unhook it from the computer, and we do have our miner right here on a shelf on wireless. So I'm going to get it on wired, and then we'll jump back downstairs. We need to swap over our port forwarding to the new wired IP address, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you guys downstairs. Okay, miners, our cable is run. Our Helium miner is now wired versus wireless. We're getting some good pings from down here up to our device. I've gone ahead, ran a speed test down here. We're definitely doing a lot better. We're at like 90 down and 25 up. So tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I may have to look at what the distance is on that cable to make sure that we're not pushing over that 300-foot threshold. Maybe that's why we're seeing some drop off in bandwidth. Not really sure. I do want to look into that a little bit more, but what we had upstairs when it came down to our internet speeds of bandwidth is plenty for helium mining, especially because it doesn't use much internet at all. We're talking fractions here of what your actually internet plan would be. It's just reporting back and forth at a high level. It's not using your internet at all to transmit or to provide others internet. Everything is done through the actual Helium network that is over that lo-fi that you do have and that you're running from your Helium miner. But that's going to go ahead and do it for today. I'd love to hear in your comments what you guys found is much more reliable for you. Wired, wireless, and then also what struggles and challenges have you had with your Helium miner? I can't be the only one out there that's running into this, because Helium, man, my miner ran phenomenally for the first like 2 months, and then after that it's been terrible ever since. Well guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for today. I hope to bring you guys an update in the near future as to how this worked out. Once we have this nailed down, I can't wait to go ahead and install a 5.8 dB antenna, and then we're also going to test a 8 dB antenna as well. Can't wait to finally get to those, but I want to nail down the network first. Well guys, thank you guys very much for joining me today for this Helium video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and finally, don't forget to subscribe. Take care.